We filed bankruptcy 6 years ago and we're in debt again, and I want to go over what that debt is. The total amount of debt is $92,589.
She said she filed bankruptcy 6 years ago, right? And now she's almost $92,000 back into debt. Girl, what happened?
So we have two cars. One car is $19,812 and the other one is $21,404. And so that is a combined total of $41,216. Our credit cards between me and my husband are $32,715, and we have loans. I included like Affirm, Bread, which was our furniture. I included that in there. I even included our phones. You know, like when you go to Verizon and get like a phone and they put it into your monthly payment. I even included those. So all of that included is $18,618. We have multiple loans from Upstart and Upgrade.
Oh my gosh. Okay, she's using Affirm also. Upstart loans. What is going on?
Oh, and Avant gave me a loan too. But yeah, $92,589.
There gotta be more to this story. And ma'am, was this stuff you bought after the bankruptcy? I got questions. Somebody here says you filed bankruptcy, then went and bought new cars. Another comment here says, as a bankruptcy specialist, you learned nothing. Another comment, finance furniture after bankruptcy. And that was another crazy thing. What was rolled up in the first bankruptcy? If the furniture, you needed more? Maybe there was a life event. All the furniture was gone, maybe? Somebody else here is saying, you're just financially irresponsible. Got it. Okay, y'all, we got to give her the benefit of the doubt because we ain't heard enough yet. But as it looks, from the looks of it, there might be a little truth to that. I don't know. I gotta keep doing some more digging.
Yeah, the number's pretty crazy. $93,154 worth of debt. $41,000 of it is cars. The rest is loans and credit cards.
Let me get my calculator. Carry the one, just playing. 52,000 of it is not the cars. Not the cars. Maybe somebody lost their job or something. What?
We've been sitting at around 93,000 for a long time, but the number's not going any higher, so that's great. Our minimum payments every month are like $3,900, and the interest, just the interest on those payments is like $1,800.
That is horrible, y'all. The interest is the thing that makes it so difficult for a lot of people to pay off their credit cards, y'all. One of the biggest reasons why I stress the importance of paying off your credit card as soon as possible, paying off the principal, not the minimum payment. Minimum payments don't make the interest go away. Whatever interest you have on your credit card, that's what you're getting hit with every month until you pay off the principal. Meaning, if you borrowed $200, or in other words, if you swiped $200 on your credit card, you need to pay that full $200 balance off before the end of the billing cycle. If you don't, you're going to get hit with the interest charge. And interest for credit cards can be extremely high. According to nerdwallet.com, the average annual percentage rate was 22.5% as of May 2025. And this is according to the Federal Reserve. But as y'all know, depending on your credit score, the interest, aka the APR, on your credit card may vary from being really high or being really low. Being that she filed bankruptcy already, I don't even want to guess what those interest rates are on those credit cards.
Here's to paying off the debt. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Yeah, I've thought about filing again. I have. At this point in time, we could file a chapter 13 and then get on like a payment plan or whatever, but we're not going to do that. And then in 2 more years, we could file a chapter 7 again. But we're not going to do that. It's just been a thought, you know. Bankruptcy is a great option if you learn your lesson, and we didn't. So here's to getting out of it.
I want to know what the plan is. And what's interesting enough is she says she's not planning to file bankruptcy again, but she knows the steps she hypothetically could take if she wanted to file bankruptcy for a second time. And I also agree, if you don't learn the lessons, is it really shocking to repeat them? And unfortunately for her, she didn't learn her lesson. Let me go to the comments. Caleb Hammer is in the comments. Now, when they start doing that, we might be in too deep. And this is an interesting one here. Why on earth would you touch a credit card ever again after already filing for bankruptcy once? And she said, build our credit to buy a house. Do y'all know that they look at your debt to income ratio when you're trying to get a house? And you know I got an article to support my claim because according to rocketmortgage.com, in an article titled, What is Considered Debt When Applying for a Mortgage? One key factor that lenders consider is your credit report, which provides a detailed summary summary of your debt and repay record for credit cards, student loans, auto loans, and other financial obligations. Now, something I want to note here is, according to Rocket Mortgage, it says, as of November 16th, 2025, y'all, that wasn't very long ago, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac no longer have a minimum credit score threshold in their conventional loan eligibility guidelines. And it goes on to state that loan approval will instead be based on evaluation of overall credit risk factors. And this article also goes on to talk about debt to income ratio in mortgage payments. Now, the real question is, are you high risk or low risk if you're struggling to pay off your credit cards? If they have any proof, any sort of writing on the wall when they pull your bank statements, because that's what happens, y'all. They actually want to see your bank statements, that you might not be able to afford the mortgage. Are you giving red flags or green flags? Just something that we got to keep in mind. And another thing that I notice is often when people file bankruptcy, why do they always end up in a newer car or a few newer cars for the family? I don't understand. Because yes, people do need a reliable vehicle most of the time to get to and from work, to handle their obligations as an adult. I understand that. But them car payments was eating her up. Golly.
I want to go over our monthly payment. It is a lot. So we have 2 cars. Each payment, one of them is $575 and the other is $689. Our credit cards, the minimum monthly payment adds up to $1,362. Oh, and then the cars, that was $1,264 with them combined. And then our loans that we have, I've included our furniture loans, our phone loans, which I know some people won't look at that and think it's a loan, but it is. I mean, it's put into our monthly payment on our Verizon bill, but they're almost paid off. One of them's like at $180 and the other's at $220. So they're really close to being paid off and there's 0% interest. But yeah, so those loans, all the loans that we have are $1,350. So with everything combined, it adds up to $3,976 minimum payments.
Oh my gosh. Now, if you have a really good job, that's probably not too bad, but that is a lot of money for minimum payments just for loans, for cars, furniture, all of the, whatever. I want to put something in perspective for y'all. If her minimum payments were to continue to just get paid every month, because I know some of y'all out there are just like, I just make the minimum payment to the credit card company, it's whatever. Do you know she would have coughed up almost $48,000 in minimum payments in 12 months? Y'all, that's ridiculous. And I need to know what type of furniture this is because we ain't getting enough details.
I think I probably need therapy. Always had depression, anxiety. I am an instant gratification kind of girl. Spending money has always made me feel good. Eating out has always made me feel good. I also have an autistic son who's 5. I am not making excuses. I am just saying that I think that's where a lot of this comes from. I think I have ADHD. I definitely feel like that. There's days where I'll just lay in bed and it's just crippling. Like my mind's all over the place. The point of my video is I know that we have a problem and we need to get to the bottom of it. And some people might not believe me, but a lot of our spending problems comes from eating out. We have spent so much money eating out over the years. It's very enjoyable to us. We both work in the restaurant, so we want to be waited on when we get off or not cook. It's just that instant gratification.
Okay, this threw me for a loop. This just took a turn. Okay, so it wasn't just the furniture and the phones and a little bit of stuff here and there. It's because y'all like to eat out and get waited on at the restaurant. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, ma'am, it's gotta be some, some inside work. And I understand a lot of people have problems. Trust me, we all do. Nobody's exempt. But when you're already struggling and in debt, I know a lot of the time we want to do things for convenience. Sometimes we gotta just get back to the basics. And I say this humbly, y'all. I say this not to be judgmental, to be mean. If you know how to cook because you work in a restaurant, you got the leg up. You know how to get in the kitchen and whip your wrists, And it might be time. Maybe you and your husband can alternate. Cook at the house. If that's really what's going on, according to what she said, because I thought it was the cars and just some expensive furniture. Because I was like, how much that furniture costs? Because furniture ain't that much, is it? But when we got to the meat and potatoes, no pun intended, because she said she worked at a restaurant. Oh, Lord. It was really because they're eating out. Oh, my. And what's crazy is people got a lot more power than they think. A lot of the times people are suffering because they refuse to change. And I honestly think she knows that she needs to change. She knows that there's a problem. It's not enough to know. You have to do. Or else you end up in a situation where you're talking about you being back into debt after filing bankruptcy. This is one of the reasons why I don't believe people should just be able to file bankruptcy. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like that. I do think it's a great tool for those who are in very deep and absolutely need to use it, I understand. However, I think if you file bankruptcy one time, there need to be some sort of class, some sort of rehabilitation, some sort of, like even what she said, therapy to me wouldn't be a bad idea for people who file bankruptcy, because a lot of it might have to do with emotions. And when we get down to the bottom of why are people doing the things they do, that's how you tackle the root of the problem with the spending. For example, with her, she could just be trying to eat out because she's overwhelmed, she's stressed or whatever. Maybe there's another way to do it cheaper, because going out to eat in America is high and we don't even know what they putting in the food. Anyway, maybe a solution could be meal prepping. If you don't like to meal prep for a week, which I understand, maybe you do it every 2 days. Then you don't got to be in the kitchen all the time. Then you won't feel stressed, because she said she's dealing with a child that has disability. Like, that might be a lot on her plate. And I'm not making excuses for her. I'm just thinking of solutions. Some of y'all are gonna be like, well, I don't like to meal prep because my stuff tastes like plastic and I don't like the taste. Okay, get glass. Do that. Well, it don't last long enough. Okay, put it in the freezer. That might work. I don't know. The answer can't be, though, doing the same thing that's getting you bad results. I really hope she's able to figure something out with this, because this is spiraling.
My last video got like 2 million views, and a lot of people are very upset. I did not know that my debt would create all this, but it did, and people are very upset. I wanted to address one of the main questions is, well, how are you going to pay for this? And the debt snowball. So I have everything in our calculator. The debt is like $92,500.
Right.
And if we pay it off in order of what we owe, we can have it paid off in 2 years and 7 months. And that is with no extra money going towards the debt. When time comes in March, when tax returns come, I overpay on my taxes, and I have 3 kids. And then my husband also, he pays on his taxes. We should get a pretty hefty refund, probably about 7 to 10 grand on a refund. And we're going to take that and put all of it towards all of our debt. And then my husband is going to work extra with Walmart Spark for delivery. And then I'm going to pick up a couple extra shifts, and it's Christmas time. I always make really good money at Christmas time. I get really good tips. Waffle House gives us each a bonus, which is mine will be $250 this year, and then my husband's will be $200. And that will go directly towards debt as well. We get paid overtime. There's going to be a lot of extra money. Oh, and it's a 5-week month as well.
What I want y'all to grasp from this is, for one, I'm glad that she has a plan. I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, she ain't going to be able to do that. I honestly feel like you can do whatever you put your mind to, as long as you have a plan that makes sense, because you have the income coming in left over after you pay your expenses for the month to make it work. It might not be fun. Yeah. And that's what I want to talk about. What y'all are seeing is she was just saying her husband is about to go do Spark, food delivery services. I have nothing against that. I was a DoorDasher. I did Uber. I did it all the apps. I was doing 3 of them at a time sometimes. I ain't got nothing but respect for anybody making an honest living. But here's the thing that I want y'all to keep in mind here. So I say this humbly. When you dig yourself into debt, I have tried to explain over and over and over, you are doing nothing but putting the future you to work overtime at your job, doing side hustle. That's the truth. And we just seen it again displayed in somebody else's household. Over what? Now, over some food? And yes, that might be a little blunt for me to say, but just think about it. She said a bulk of this is from food, furniture. Do y'all really want to be door dashing in current time over food that you ate the last 6 years? Think about that, because I know a lot of people are going to hee or ha at her in the comments and be like, oh my gosh, she's so whatever. But think about it, y'all. How many people do the same thing? Maybe you haven't got to $94,000 or whatever the amount is, but you're at 3, you're at 6, you're creeping up on 10. And it might not be because you was eating fast food or ordering DoorDash, buying furniture, buying cars, buying the newest iPhone, but the debt is racking up for something. And that's what makes it relatable, and why we see so many people posting their debt stories on TikTok, and why they're always going viral. They're going viral because a lot of people are in debt, and it's not the anomaly that y'all think it is. The sad part is when we talk about why, what is the thing that you're going into debt for, it's usually something that's not worth your time. It's not worth your future. It's not worth you door dashing for 2 years, trying to make extra money so you can just throw it at that debt to just get rid of it, to finally feel free. A lot of people wouldn't even say it's worth the car that they drive, and a lot of people love their cars, but not that much. And this is why having a budget is important. If you just make money and you say, hey, Klarna gonna handle it, a Affirm's gonna handle it. We'll just get a loan. We'll put it on the credit card. That is not a budget, y'all. That is how it starts. You must look at how much money you make. If you're married and y'all are working as a team, you need to know how much your spouse makes. You need to look at the whole entire collective and understand how much can we spend on food? How much do we have to spend on utilities? How much are the bills? You need to break this down to a science, a mathematical number. And when you're done, you should be able to look and say, after everything is paid, this is what we have left over. And if you start looking at that and saying, that ain't enough, like I'm not gonna be able to get my hair done, I'm not gonna be able to get my nails done, then you can't. You can't do it. You can't afford it. Why? Because if you try to do it without bringing in more income, because money don't grow on trees like a lot of y'all act like, you're gonna go reach for your credit card or put something on Zip, Klarna, Afterpay. You're gonna be using Klarna with the DoorDash, double stacking. Bad decisions. We don't want y'all to do that. At some point in time, you're gonna have to be realistic and be honest with yourself anyway. And it's very sad that it's not into the breaking point for a lot of people when they're in so deep like this, or when they're filing bankruptcy, that they are now tuned back into reality. The crazy thing is, nothing has changed. You just were ignoring the truth. You were ignoring the facts. You were ignoring your bank account. And that's how you get to this situation. And not saying her, I think she might have did that too. I'm saying in general.
I keep getting comment after comment about how working at, oh, you're a Waffle House waitress, you have this much debt and blah, blah, blah. And I'm taking the comment as like they're degrading on Waffle House waitresses. I've had people say, oh, you need a better job and this and that. We've had this conversation a lot. I've had this conversation with many people. You make more, you spend more. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. So if I don't get to the root of the problem of paying this off, like there's people out there that live on very little. So my income, well, yes, I do have a lot of debt. It's not the income that is the problem. Me and my husband make $135,000 between the two of us. That's not the problem. It's just that we have too much expenses and we've put too much crap on our credit cards for way too long. If and when we get all this paid off, our income is plenty to live a very comfortable life.
And I think that's a great point. Again, I ain't job shaming over here. Nothing wrong with working at the Waffle House. If that's what you want to do, if you like it, I love it. Clearly that's working for her household. But I'll say this, she is absolutely right. Have y'all not seen the many videos I've done where people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars and they're still like, I'm broke. I'm a doctor, but I'm broke. I'm a nurse, but I'm broke. All my money is gone. Do y'all think it's because they're a nurse? Or do you think it's because they're not good with money? Same with her. She's not necessarily broke because she works at the Waffle House, because with her and her husband, the income is fine. Well over $100,000. That's more than what most people's household brings in America. That's not her problem. I agree. But what I think is society expects certain people to just have money and to be responsible with it. And I think one of those people would be a nurse. And the person that they would be like, oh, you need to get a better job and make more money so you don't have these problems, is her. But if you look at the income that her household is bringing, it would have all of us fooled. But I also don't agree that if you make more money, you spend more money. That's just something that y'all be saying because a lot of people who make a lot of money don't spend a lot more money. They live below their means. Maybe they're spending money on stocks or investments or houses or things like that that go up in value, but they're not just spending money all the time. Not everybody. Now, granted, there are people who make a lot of money that spend money. A lot of it, of course. But this household doesn't have to be one of them. So why does it matter what everybody else is doing? You know, that's how I think about stuff. More on an individual basis. You know, a lot of times people are like, well, everybody else is doing blah, blah, so it doesn't matter. It does not matter what everybody else does. What are you doing? Are you being smart with your money? Are you handling it well? Legit questions.
So with the debt snowball, we're gonna do, Target is number one and it's $119 and the payment every month is $30. I have a lot of little amounts. I have my phone, it's $200. Bread, which is my mattress, is $205. Avant, $278. Affirm, $294. Credit One, $344. $437 is my other phone. My husband's upgrade, which $463.
Why do y'all always got new phones when you're in so much debt? I don't get it. What is the obsession? The features aren't that good to constantly be getting all these new phones. I don't know what it is. I'm tired of y'all acting like phones are a status symbol. I'm not saying this is what her and her spouse did. I'm just saying in general, can we get over it? As a society, nobody cares. We're not in high school. This is starting to become embarrassing and I'm tired of having this conversation with y'all.
Upstart, $458. Like I have all these low amounts. So if we can tackle all these low amounts, that right there would be an extra $300 to $400 a month that we can then put towards everything else. I mean, the Target, I haven't put anything on my Target in a long time, like over a year. So, and I should have it paid off by now, but I don't know why I have that. But yeah, like I'm looking at these amounts and like I do have a lot of large amounts as well, but most of my accounts are $2,000 or under. There's just a lot of them.
Oh my gosh. And that's how it works, y'all. One thing after another. It's usually, oh, I'm just going to get this mattress. And the mattress is financed. Everything. Oh my gosh. Okay. But she got a plan. I hope it works. I really do.
Let's go over what I made today as a Waffle House server. So today was a really good day. Not all days are like this, but today was a really good day. I made $182 in tips. Waffle House pays me $12.58 an hour. My to-go tips, which if you don't know, Waffle House charges 20% on all to-go orders, 10% goes to the server, 10% goes to the store for all the to-go supplies. I do not make the rule, I just enforce it. So I worked 7.5 hours today. So with everything included, my to-go tips, and my hourly rate, I made $40.22 an hour.
Now, I just want to know. I wanted to play that all the way through once I seen she was talking about how much she made today. Granted, this was a good day, she said. When you're a waitress, it's up and down. How do I know? I was a waitress too. I get it. However, even if it was 100, I just want to know, would y'all say that's enough? And I don't know how many hours she worked, but this is a pretty decent day.
I've had a lot of people comment on my videos like about how, oh, you're a Waffle House server and you need to go get a new job and blah, blah, blah. $40.22 an hour is not bad in any sense.
Yo.
And I have no degree. I did do a little bit of college, but I ended up dropping out after. It wasn't for me. I want to go back one day. Right now is just, I don't want to go back at this moment.
And that's okay. Everything ain't for everybody. I have nothing against somebody deciding to be a waitress. If that's what you want to do, and that's what you love, do what you want. We all got free will.
So I've gotten the question a lot about how much our rent or mortgage is. We don't have a mortgage. So it's $1,625. We have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's in a good neighborhood.
That's about right, honestly. Yeah.
Awesome schools. So that's that. Our rental insurance, which we're required to have, is $28 a month. And we have a lot of coverage on that. Our car insurance is $436 a month. Electric is like $200 to $230 a month. Our gas, we have gas too, is about $40 a month. It's going to be higher now that it's winter, which we're in Florida. We're not going to use it that much. Really, it's just for like the hot water heater and the heater. Yeah, so our water, sewer, and trash, they're all into one. And it's $120 a month. Oh, and then our phone bill, $282.
That's what y'all need to be doing when you're looking at how much your expenses are. All that stuff she named, that's what you need to do with your personal bank statements. All of it, plus more, because sometimes you got more bills than that. If you look at that and you say, hey, I don't got enough money to pay off my debt and to do blah, blah, blah after, you either don't do whatever blah, blah, blah is, or you go make more money. That's it. It's that simple. Go make more money. I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you how math works. Nothing plus nothing equals nothing.
I have got that comment a lot.
Okay, it says here, your job, 110% part of the problem.
That my job is the problem. I don't believe my job is the problem. I think I make decent money for what I do, $70,000 a year for what I do. And then, between the two of us, between me and my husband, we're bringing in $135,000 a year. I had this conversation with him earlier. The money is not the problem. If we don't get to the root of our spending issues, then even if we make more, we're still going to spend more.
Yeah, and she's right. What this is called is she's living above her means. Eating out when you can't afford to eat out. The proof is in the pudding. That's why she's in the situation she is, according to what she said, and some furniture and the cars. Because what they're bringing in every year is a blessing, a true blessing. They're just doing too much. Everybody can't afford to go out to eat. And if you go out to eat every day, depending on how you and your family like to go out to eat, and that might vary depending on who we talking about, because some of y'all can throw down. It can get so expensive. You can easily spend $100, $200 a day eating out.
Here's our debt after filing bankruptcy 6 years ago. $93,000 between me and my husband. This is all my debt on my credit report. So yeah, there's just a lot of stuff there. Some guy commented on here that he didn't believe me that we were given so much credit after filing bankruptcy, that they don't give you credit. And I'm like, they definitely did. I seeked out the credit, but shame on me. But yeah, there's a list of all of mine. And then my husband's is separate. We're both on the car, so that's all.
There is 79 accounts. 79. Yeah, this is crazy. Talk to somebody about those spending habits, those personal issues you might be having. Ain't nothing wrong with counseling. I think that's great. Get to the bottom of the problem. Because this, when you have to scroll like that, yeah, go ahead, do what you need to do, ma'am.
It's sad that it's taken me this long to get to this point, but my husband is 100% on board with getting out of this crap. I can tell him anything. And I know we can get out of this together. We can get out of this debt. Should we have ever filed bankruptcy before? No, absolutely not. We should have just solved our spending problems back then. I did not realize, I thought bankruptcy was like a get out of jail free card. And it was, but we screwed that up.
Oh, see? She said the quiet part out loud. And I was going to give up. I was like, let me just see how the saga is going to continue with this because I'm already here. Might as well stay for the plot. Why not? But she said out her own mouth, she thought filing bankruptcy was a get out of jail free card. And that's what a lot of people think it is. And that's the problem. They aren't actually trying to be better with money. They will literally go run it up and be like, I'm gonna file bankruptcy, whatever, because you don't actually have to be held accountable for the actions. It's going to be quote unquote a clean slate. You're going to be given a clean slate to start over again. And that is a blessing that you are able to do that. But if you don't learn the lessons and understand the value of a dollar truly when you have to work for that money and pay it on time, or only use money that you actually have to pay for the things that you want and not just swipe a credit card, you start to move a little bit differently when you have to do that. When you actually have to hold your feet to the fire for your actions. And this time, she's holding her feet to the fire. But it's really sad that a lot of y'all got to take a L. You got to hit rock bottom before you start being a good steward of the stuff you had. I hate to see it.
And if I could go back and not file, I definitely would. I would go through financial classes and all that stuff. It's sad that it's taken me this long to get to this point, but my husband is 100% on board with getting out of these crap. Like, we can eat at home, there's all these things. And people think I'm crazy when I'm like, most of the money has been spent on eating out. So what happens is we'll eat out. And then when it comes time to pay our bills, we're like, oh crap, we don't have that money. And then we go and put it on credit card. But we've already had the conversation. He's willing to work more. He's going to do more Walmart Spark. We're going to pick up shifts at work. We are going to get through this.
How she described it is so backwards. And I'm only pointing it out to have an honest conversation. I think this is what most people do. They spend their money until it's all gone. And then they say, oh, wait a minute. I actually have expenses that are going to come out no matter what. Oh, yeah. Let me put that on a credit card. Let me get a loan for it. No, you don't just get to eat out. Go to Disney, take trips, get cars you don't need, phones you don't need, clothes you don't need, whatever it is, and then say, oh yeah, I got responsibilities. Yeah. Many of y'all are just doing it backwards. You budget first, and then you say, this is how much we have to eat out for the month. We either need to make it work, we need to go get some more money. We need to make some more money. We need to go DoorDash to get some more money so we don't go into debt because we're eating out. All of this is really avoidable because not only can you not eat out, you can just cook at the house. Ugh, man.
Asking about the loans. What am I getting the loans for? Originally, the loans were to pay off the credit cards. But when you don't get to the root of the problem, what you do is you take the loans. The goal was to pay off the credit cards. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And then when you do pay off the credit cards, you end up, now you have this loan payment and you end up putting money back on the credit cards because you haven't learned your lesson. And then now you have a credit card payment along with the loan payment. This has been a cycle for years that we have been going through. I don't know why, but in the back of my mind, when I pay off something, I'm like, okay, like I can get another bill now and it'll be okay. No, it's not okay.
That's how a lot of y'all do with these car loans.
The money felt so good to have in the bank account. I don't know why it felt so good. And then when we went through it, it was like a low, like I was like feeling depressed, and because I'm like, I didn't do with the money what I was supposed to do. And then it's like a cycle, like anytime I would end up getting approved for a loan, it was like a high. I don't know how to explain it. It literally is a high. So I've had a lot of people asking about.
Man, I wish her well. I really do. There's some deep stuff going on here.
That has been asked so many times. Why did we buy new cars? So we kept both our cars through our bankruptcy. One was a Fiat, super, super tiny. The other was a Forte. I got pregnant in 2022 with our daughter. So in my mind, we had 2 5-seater cars. In my mind, I was like, oh, we need a bigger car. Oh, when I say we kept our cars through bankruptcy, you still have to pay on them if you keep your cars. So we still had car loans. So we ended up paying on them. Anyway, so we took both of our cars, traded them in to get a bigger car. It ended up being like a $5,000 down payment because we were upside down on one car but had equity in the other. Anyway, it worked out. So we had the one car, the Kia Sorento. We lived on one car for over a year. So at the time when we got the one car, the payment, I was like, oh, this is great. This is nothing, And then we realized we can't live on one car. We needed 2 cars. So we went and bought another. The fact that we bought brand new cars, like, I can't even fathom. Like, I don't know what we were thinking. We should have bought used. But I can't go back. I can't change that. Honestly, with how bad we are with money, I am shocked that we have not traded the car in yet.
Oh my God. They got new cars. Why do y'all... Why? Do y'all feel like getting a new car? You can get a very good, newly used car. And I understand they probably wanted something reliable. And it makes sense. You know, you have children, y'all are trying to get back and forth for whatever reasons. I get it. But the new cars only really are coming with a higher price tag for no good reason. She definitely could have got. It's making it harder to get through this saga. And I'm just clicking on her, you know, profile, going through all these videos because I'm like, how? It can't get too much worse, right? No, you know, she just filed a little bankruptcy, you know, she just bought a little bit of furniture. And then it's like, the further we get into this story, the more shooketh I'm becoming, the more stressed. So all the bad financial decisions you could have made, it's like checking them off a list. Okay, all right, it can't get much worse than this, right? Like it has to be the climax of the story.
But I told my husband, I said, I do not want to go, you know, even more upside down, because if we were to trade it in, we'd be even more upside down. It would make no sense. Like, you'd just be adding money and adding money. And I've seen so many videos of people that are like 10 to 20 grand upside down alone. I'm like, that is just crazy. But then our situation's crazy. So I'm not against used cars. I don't know why we didn't look at them. I do know we drive a lot. Like on our Kia Sorento, we drive over 20,000 miles a year. Like, it's a 2022 and we already have over 80,000 miles on it.
Hell, then she was upside down on the loan and still traded it in. Like, that's even crazier. So currently, they're likely paying money for that old car because it was down on the equity. Oh my gosh. Then she got another car, brand new, because they had children and they, oh, man.
Let's talk about something that aggravates me. So we get our groceries delivered sometimes. Other times my husband will pick them up or whatever.
I promise I was about to be like, you know what? It can't get no worse. I just said that, right? Girl, mind you, this is my first impression of you. I only came because of the one video. You done made a whole series. And now you telling me you doing delivery shopping. I'm gonna stand by this statement here. If you are doing delivery shopping in $90-something thousand in debt, personally, I think you're not serious. I don't think you're serious about getting out of the debt, because what? What do you mean? That is a luxury service. Unless you physically cannot go out to the store and shop, do y'all know that you're paying marked up prices for the food, for one? And then for two, you have somebody doing the labor of bagging up and bringing the groceries to your house, like room service at a hotel, while you're in debt. Because do y'all know y'all typically have to pay for that? You know, and I was trying to be on your side, man, and I still am. Like, I don't like when the internet dogpile, and I think that she's definitely brave for sharing this story. I want to start there, make that very clear. However, some of these decisions, ma'am, it's making it very hard for me to take you serious, because what?
The past 2 times that we've had our groceries delivered, they've smelled like smoke. So this time they smell like cigarettes.
Then go get it yourself. Go get it yourself. Oh my God. Oh no, I can't. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it through this video. Ma'am, you need to put the phone down. Put the phone down now. Let me let it play, because at this point we might as well see it all the way through.
I'm very sensitive to cigarettes, and I know we should just go pick our groceries up.
Yeah.
But we didn't this time. So last time it was straight. Come on, people. Have a decency to not like smoke. Like, if you're gonna deliver groceries to people, that's aggravating. Yeah, straight cigarettes. Like, it's gross to me.
And you know what? Let me go to the comments, because I've been slipping. I've been letting her slide because I knew the comments was going to be bad. But on this one, let me see. Getting your groceries delivered when you're 90K in debt is insane. It's probably exactly what I said. Should you not be saving $1 in any way you can? I mean, I agree with them. You got to stop doing ish like this. Oh, make a list and then go pick it up yourself. Be your own shopper. The prices will be better. And then you won't have to pay the service charge, which can be significant, and it's so true. It can be way higher. Another comment, you have groceries delivered with the side eye emoji. Get rid of the upgraded membership at wherever marked and go pick them up. And this is the one right here. How will you explain to your children that you can't afford their college education because you couldn't give up things like grocery delivery? You know, at this point, maybe the kids gonna have to join the military, because it gotta be some change from the inside. The work has to happen, or there just ain't gonna be no money. And the kids gonna grow up and be like, well, I guess I have to figure it out and look around. I don't even want to know what it's gonna look like years from now for kids that didn't have any parents to help them out.
Yeah, knowing what I know now, I agree with this comment. It was super easy to get loans after bankruptcy. I went after them. We were like, oh, we need a new car. We were trading our 2 cars in, went up there, and we were approved.
Mind you, she didn't need 2 cars. She wanted another car.
And it was 8%. Our interest rate was 8%, like right after filing bankruptcy. The rate that we were getting was better than before we filed bankruptcy. We had our first credit card offer, or I did. And of course, the interest rates are higher on these cards. Like all my cards have a 28 to 35% interest rate. Every single one of them.
That is horrible. 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 Remember what I said what the average was earlier? 22% or 22.5 or something like that? Hers are worse than that for all of her cards.
So the interest rates are not great, but I still got approved for them.
It doesn't matter if you got approved if you're not paying them off. The bank is coming up on you. This is bad. Oh my.
So yeah, at this point, day by day. I mean, I can sit here and plan out this elaborate.
Hold on. She said, I'm asking sincerely, what are you guys doing to help get to the root of your issues?
You know, what are we going to do? But like as of today, not eating out. So I came up with this idea because we're bad about groceries, like buying them and spending too much or whatever. So I was thinking of like getting a $150 gift card for Walmart every week and only shopping at Walmart for groceries. I'm really bad about shopping on Instacart and that costs too much.
Oh my gosh, you shopping on Instacart. What is a gift card? You know what? I'll need a budget. This is ridiculous.
I was like, if we put 150 max and then when that money's gone, like we can look at it and be like, oh, that's crap. That's all we have. And only spend that money. I feel like that's a good way.
Budget.
I want to cut up our credit cards. I want to close them all, actually.
You
I
should.
don't want any more credit cards. This eggnog, by the way.
We don't care about the eggnog, ma'am. Oh, you got bigger fish to fry. Y'all, Miss Emily had me stressed. I need to know what y'all think about this down below. Do y'all think this was just straight reckless? I haven't done a debt story in some time, but this is one of the worst that I've seen. It just got worse and worse as the saga continues, and I actually feel like I need a Tylenol, an ibuprofen, something for my headache that I had to sustain from listening to this madness, but I did it for y'all. I need y'all to at least hit the like button for my sake, but we got to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.